Hello YouTube, this is Natanos Likens, and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. We are still in creative mode. We are trying to recreate our ship from our Minecraft series, The Diligent. And I have a little bit of progress to show. And it's coming along. We still got some issues. I need to refine the shape a little bit more. Um, some of it I like, some of it I don't like. Yeah, you'll see what I mean. We're not finished. This is still a work in progress. So, yeah, bear with me on that. Let's go ahead and bring it into view. So, yeah, we've got the wing structures put in. We're going to talk a little bit more about those in a minute. I did change up the cockpit design. I didn't like that whole bubble look, and this is much more of a boxy look here. Um, I may end up changing this a little bit more because it was suggested to me that we use these guys. These are heavy windows, and I've been looking at them, and unfortunately using those means that we kind of lose the shape of what the cockpit should look like. So I'm still kind of debating on whether or not I'm going to redesign this entire section. This is loosely based off of the Minecraft ship, the Diligent. We are going to end up naming this the Diligent. And as for our other ship, I am still waiting for names for that thing. Haven't gotten any comments yet on that. So yeah, we've got kind of a texture going on here with this, I don't even know what to call it, like black scrap metal kind of look. I'm not in love with it. It may change it sometimes. You definitely lose some of the detail as far as direction of portions, like over here. You can't really see this. It doesn't stand out much anymore. So we may end up changing that for something else, though the Diligent was kind of, it was mostly black and gray concrete and then a little bit of black stone and deep slate mixed in. So yeah, I decided to go with black on this. It may not have been the best in Empyrean, but yeah, that's that. So we got the thrusters put in, and I'm not in love with this shape. I'm gonna have to refine that a little bit. Unfortunately, I can't actually make this really rounded at this scale, which, even thinking about it, if we were to downscale this to a SV, which we really can't because we need the artificial gravity, we'd still have problems trying to make this shape correct. But yeah, though this portion is in, and we come back here, you can see that we've got the engine mostly put in. I say mostly, it's pretty much done. Like, I'm very happy with the overall shape that we ended up giving it. We got these kind of weird sections here. I just thought that would be an interesting little detail thing to put in. It is still very blocky, though. Yeah, I'm fine with it. We do have some interesting shapes and everything to try and break up the blockiness in places. Like, say, these are rounded back here. We need to put in some more things there. We'll worry about that later. But yeah, we got this kind of red highlight on the engines. It comes back here and wraps around the actual thrusters. We got circuit boards in here. Now, originally on my ship, this is a 4x4 area. Unfortunately, the biggest engine, the large, is a 3x3, so it's kind of the wrong shape, so we just had to go with it and kind of translate it as best we could. And then these sections here, these little flanges coming off, they are supposed to be separated by a much bigger gap. Again, because of the size of this particular engine, we kind of were forced to do certain things, but like I said, we just kind of went with it and did some detail work as far as adding blocks in and adding shape to it. So it does look fairly good. I am kind of happy with. I'm happy with this back section here, I'm not happy with this. We gotta work on this a little bit more. And then these, we'll get to these support structures here in a minute. These, I have been calling them wings for like forever. I've got a new idea. We're going to call these weapon platforms. And these weapon platforms, obviously I'm not done with it. The underside has not been shaped at all or detailed. But yeah, that's what we got going on there. We got some kind of weird shape structure here. I just wanted to break up how flat the thing was looking, so we did some interesting things here. And we did make the ends of this slightly different. Unfortunately, that does result in kind of a weird edge right there. However, yeah, it's fine. It's the best that we can do, considering there's a lot of block types and shapes that I wish we had. Unfortunately, they did not include those. I haven't textured this section either. So much like all the red on here, these little bits and bobs sticking out would be red, and then the underlying flat structure would actually be like that black color. Possibly. I may end up changing that. And again, we still got a lot of shape to add to this thing. So yeah, and both wings look exactly the same. But as for the inside, that's actually what I want to talk about. And actually, we skipped over these. So part of the concept of this ship was that it was just a freighter, just a cargo ship. And they took this ship and they turned it into a weapon, so they cobbled together a bunch of parts on it. That's why the engines are sitting kind of awkward on these pillars. They just kind of quickly attached them and everything. And then these weapon platforms, they also directly attach these to the ship. So there is no like access. There's nothing inside of these. They're just attachments that function as weapon bays. With Empyrion and some of the weapons that we need to potentially add to this, because right now it's only going to shoot forward. You're not going to be able to attack things off to your side or even behind you. We're going to attach some more weapons to it at some point. I have been thinking about attaching these guys and using the retractable version of them. Yeah, more to come on that, because these are also, again, something that goes against the flat out design. Like the weapon platforms themselves are supposed to be kind of even numbered, and unfortunately these things are odd numbered. So I keep coming across uh, things that go against what the portion of the ship is supposed to be. So, on the inside, everything is supposed to be odd numbered, and on these wings, they're supposed to be even numbered. Well, the things that I was trying to put on the inside are even numbered, and the things I'm trying to put on the outside are odd numbered. So we've been having a little bit of frustration as far as like actual layouts and everything. You will notice that this is centered at an odd number, but I was wanting to put this like in here somewhere, and unfortunately this is an odd number and these things are even numbered. Sort of. The point is I can't put this thing where I want it because of the number of blocks it takes up does not match up with what I've got going on. Okay, so the backside is not done. The underside is not done either. And you can see that we've got these like clamps that are going into place. I've already textured them. And all these clamps are is just holding the weapon platforms onto it. So yeah, we got that going on. I still need to work on the bottom of it. We don't even have landing gear on it yet. So more to come on that. We come in here and go ahead and drop down to eye level. I textured this room. We just went with a gray steel look everywhere, and you can see that we did a pattern with the same style. I wanted this room to look kind of bolty and kind of plain because this is just a cargo hold. That's all it is. We went through, we added a whole bunch of different little cargo pieces and then colored them. because you can do that. And I added this railing around here, so hopefully you can't like fall out of this thing. I do wish they had a railing that was completely up. Uh, there might be something. I haven't looked at shutters and everything. We just went with it because we do have, you know, these are half areas up on this level. Let's come on up here. So yeah, you can see this is half a block thick. So we can't actually put a railing or any kind of thing right there. So yeah, I just kind of left it like that, and you can see, you know, we got more cargo up here, different colors and everything. And you know, because of the way that the blocks interact with each other, we've got a lot of space in some of these areas, but we can't put anything there because we got this single little bitty column going up, and I've got no way of putting any kind of block right there in that space. You can see, like, I'm mousing over it, and yeah, we can't put anything there. So we do, it does look a little bit more open than it should be. There should be a lot more stuff in here. Not much I can do about that. That's just one of the quirks about the game. So let's head on up into the main corridor, or what I'm calling the main corridor. And as you can see, we have done a little bit of texture work in here. We got beige on the lights, and I just realized that that happened. It's kind of an oversight on my part. When I was actually texturing the ship on the outside, I had selected a large area full block, and it caused some havoc. So I had to go through it and retexture a good chunk of the rooms. It wasn't that bad on the interior. For some reason, the walls didn't get hit in most rooms. I think maybe 2 rooms actually got hit, but yeah. Anyway, let's go on. So as you can see, we also got the lights in. I've put a different ventilator in here. We got the really thin ones in here now. Before it was the big ones with the corridor ceiling. I decided to take out the corridor pieces because I can't put lights on them, and I needed a way to light the room up. So yeah, we got that going on. We come in here to look at our core. We did texture these pipings. We do have this really cool texture that really works well for pipes. Unfortunately, we can't do that with the ventilator. The only reason I put that one in there is originally it was attached directly to the core as kind of like a cooling agent. Unfortunately, the ventilators only come in a couple of shapes, so we had to put it back here instead of directly above it. Luckily, they do match up with this thickness of these pipes. We can't get the texture on there correct, though, so yeah, we're just kind of dealing with that. We did continue the same color code in here with the brown and the teal color. I did colorize all of the CPUs to be green. And then we got these tinted windows in here. I went with a beige color on the frames. You can't really tell it. And I'm not too happy about the glass either. I want something that's really clear. Unfortunately, we've only got one style of glass, and one side is very clear like this, the other side not so much. So we also went ahead and painted our artificial gravity that light blue color. I wasn't really sure what color to paint it, so I just went with light blue on that. And again, we got the other 2 CPUs over here painted green. I'm not entirely sure I got the right color of green on those, but it doesn't matter. Not a huge deal. So let's come on into the cockpit because I have done a little bit more detail work in here. Honestly, we've got way too much space in here and not enough detail, like decoration items. I have used up quite a few in here. There is quite a few more that I could put, but I feel like at some point we're going to start cluttering this area. We still do have quite a bit of open area, so I do need to put a few more decorations. But yeah, as you can see, we've got the teal and the brown going on again, along with this steel metal look there. I haven't changed out the ceiling in here. I haven't colored it yet, and all these pillars are that same texture on them. I don't know why. There's just something about that particular texture that I think looks good on the pillars. Yeah, so we got all these different little bay areas that are colored blue. I again, I do need to work on some detail in here. Maybe we can bring some of the glass fences in here to like break up the area a little bit without making giant walls. More on that. Uh, we made a little platform here for the cockpits. I felt like we kind of needed to do something with them because this little bitty thing for this giant ship just looked awkward. So I had to build a little platform around it. Um, Again, because of some limitations with blocks. I mean, there's nothing I can really do about this corner. There are a few things I could potentially put there, and I was looking at them and debating, and it just, at some point, it was just like, no. It just wouldn't look that good. Again, we got little stations up here and still got plenty of room. I would like a lot more decorative things. I mean, we did use quite a few in here, and I feel like if we start using all of them, we're either going to do one of two things. We're going to end up with a lot of clutter, or we're going to end up with a lot of sameness. Like, we're going to see a lot of similar stations everywhere. Um, and this also, with what it originally is, it's supposed to have kind of a light crew. And in fact, in my Minecraft series, it's just me. So having a whole bunch of stations is going to be kind of difficult. So I really wish the cockpits were a little bit bigger. Like, these are tiny when you really look at the scale of some ships. I'm sure there's other things you could do, like have a much smaller cockpit. Like in Star Trek, for instance, the cockpit area is not that big. It's not this open. This almost feels like something on an Imperial Star Cruiser or something from Star Wars. It's just way too much area. But again, this is for the most part a one-to-one scale replica of my ship in Minecraft. So yeah, we got a little bit of a size issue in here. I'll figure something out eventually. Now, before we go down to the engine room and the air, let's come up here. I did end up turning this into kind of the cafeteria area where you get food and everything. And to kind of pay homage to my ship in Minecraft, we got a lot of like stone and wood textures in here. I'm very happy with it. It does look fairly nice. And we got a bunch of seats in here, and then we've got, of course, our uh, food food processor here, fridge here. I threw a sink in here. It does kind of break the look of the wall, but otherwise I couldn't have fit that in there. I'm not sure if that's something that really needs to stay. I just thought it made sense. Like, you're over here cooking, working back and forth, and then maybe you're giving food to like one of your friends or somebody that is on the ship as well. So yeah, we just kind of put a kitchen in there. Over here, the med bay, we've got a whole bunch of stuff. The med bay is definitely cluttered. It probably could do with a little bit more space, to be perfectly honest. We could push this wall out a little bit and expand the medical bay a little bit. So I've got cryo chambers in here. There are 5 of them. Maybe a couple of more. No. No. Yeah, so we got 3 healing stations here and 3 like observation spots. And then we've got operating tables. I'm not happy with the operating tables. I don't know why they did this. So in order for you to put anything close by one of these stations, you'd have to put it like on the block itself. And because of the way these are facing, like this one is meant for that station. Okay, you guys need to flip-flop this, like put it on the other side of the block. Because this is effectively the like grab section here. Like you would be facing it this way, not this way. This would be if this one was meant for this station, this is backwards. So that needs to be flipped around on the block. Honestly, like I don't know what they were thinking doing that on that side of the block. Like I can't imagine like working on somebody here and like having to walk over, come over here, walk back, go over here. Like this should be over here. This should be a lot closer to me so I can just like turn and reach, turn and reach. And unfortunately, just because of the way they've got this placed inside of the block, it's horrible. That needs to be flipped to the other side. Like, don't change the direction. Just take this and inside of the block, move it over here. Is all I'm saying. Like this is too far away. Um, we got a few other pieces in here. We got cloning chambers here. I put these things on top to kind of simulate like a cloning vat or something. And then we've got these power conduit things on the side, which I don't fully understand why these are power conduits. Um, you can store pretty much anything in them. Yeah. And I kind of wish it would also light up. Uh, you can't store power stuff in it. I can like click on this and I can put that in there, but if I take the fuel, well, now it's letting me put the fuel in there. It wouldn't let me do it the first time I put these down the other day. Then back here we got a little bit more decoration, like maybe this is where the doctor's doing research and everything. And we've also got, you know, these control panels for each of the cloning chambers. So yeah, that is the med bay. It again, it's a little bit crowded in here. I'm debating whether or not I'm gonna push that wall out. We went with white and red in here. Actually, let me turn the light off. Um, yeah, I guess it works. It's not the best, but it serves its purpose. Like you can definitely heal, come in here to heal yourself up. We got a vent right there, and unfortunately there isn't a shape that matches up with this. Like really, like honestly, all the shapes and everything you've got of all these different blocks, and you didn't give me a shape that lines up with this kind of corner. Like really? Like that's rounded. This is what's up there right now. It's little bitty. And then that one's a rounded small one. Like this is it. This is all I've got. Like you couldn't have given me one that is exactly, you know, the perfect size to fit in there. Like really? Yeah, I'm not happy about that. Like like come on. Considering all the styles of blocks you have and the ventilators don't have any that match up to that. That's really frustrating. Even some of these corners, like I don't have a proper like edge piece here. There are some, but not one for that particular size. So that's the corner we had to go with. And yeah, we are gonna rant occasionally on blocks not matching up because it gets kind of ridiculous at times that some things don't match up. Okay, so over here we come to the crew quarters. Yeah, yeah, I was just experimenting with textures in here. Um, so we got this kind of gaudy like bronze gold kind of look in here. I thought it'd be kind of nice. It looks a little bit too ritzy though for what this ship is supposed to be. I don't imagine them having that kind of really cool texture on a ship. Um, yeah, we may end up changing that. And then up in the ceiling, we ended up taking out. Well, actually, you guys didn't see that because this wasn't built last time you were here. We had the corridor blocks in there, and then I was experimenting with other blocks to see how I could close this gap. And I came up with a cool design over here, but realized that I couldn't repeat it here because this is single wide. Um, so yeah, we ended up stripping that out. We just gave a cool little blue texture up here. I don't really know what that's supposed to be other than just, it's a grate, maybe. Maybe that's the grates that lead into the air ducts or something. I don't know. And then we got a whole lot of lights in here. I did notice this game's kind of bad with lighting. So that is effectively 4 blocks high, and it's barely lighting up down here. Um, so I get the feeling that this game is more meant for really enclosed spaces and like tiny areas because the lighting just doesn't reach that far. Um, I feel like this whole corridor should be so blindingly bright right now, but it's not. And then we got the crew quarters in here. I have not decorated any of them. Literally, the only thing I did is come in here and sprayed the walls gray. That's really all I've done there. I haven't decorated any of the crew quarters just yet. I didn't really see a need to just yet. It is just going to be me using this ship, so maybe one of these rooms will end up decorating, but as for now, maybe not. And this is what I was talking about as far as extending the medical bay. We could push this wall out and be even with this wall and expand the medical bay a little bit. Um, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of debating that. We'll see. Does mean I'd have to take out that pillar because it'd be like right in the way. Yeah, that may be something I end up doing eventually because the medical bay really is cramped in there. And then you got areas like this where we got so much open space um, that we could easily add more decorations in here. But I feel like at some point it's going to be overkill because, we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crew compartments. If I put a whole bunch of seats in here, like what would be the point? And that's going to bring up another problem down here, and I'm not really sure what to do with this room over here. In my Minecraft world, this is where the matrix is kept, and I've got a few things in here, and as you can see, this is like ridiculously huge right now. Like, even with the stuff that I put in here, it still feels very empty. And you will notice that I haven't put any lights, I haven't done any detail work as far as the walls. So, yeah, I'm still working on that. I'll get back to you guys with this as well. Uh, we got some tables over here. Unfortunately, this is what I'm talking about with the decorations. I want more decorations. This is the closest thing to a pool table that I could find. I would love to have some pool tables to put in here. And even there's supposed to be a dartboard over there. There's nothing I can really use to represent a dartboard. Yeah, we got a few like TV stations over here. I do find it odd that they didn't include any kind of like something to represent like a video game system. That would have been kind of funny. Like have an alternate version of this one that has some kind of bizarre looking console with really strange looking controls. Like that would have been cool. Maybe even like something else, like something for Steel Battalion, like some. I know I was saying that the cockpit seemed kind of small, but maybe put a a kind of weird one to kind of represent that this is kind of like a virtual reality thing, something that isn't actually a cockpit but more of a decoration would be interesting. And actually, like I wouldn't mind having all of the cockpits in decoration forms. And on into here, so we did use this heavy glass here to kind of decorate up these rooms. Um, Initially, I didn't realize I was putting these little corners in here because this is actually split into four. And when I realized that, I just was like, you know what? Let's just go with it. Um, yeah, I don't mind it at all. That kind of works. So in here, this room hasn't really changed. We still got all of our O2 in here. I did have to remove everything in order to paint the walls back there, but yeah, that's the first O2 room. This one over here is basically the same. As you can see, we got a single O2 station in the entire ship. I do need to put a few more of those around for emergency use. And then in here, again, this is main engineering. We just went with a dark kind of stone look for the ceiling. It works. Engineering is one of those rooms where I don't feel like we need a whole lot of detail in it. Just something that kind of gives the rough suggestion of an engineering compartment. Yeah, this hasn't really changed. All you can see that we have colorized everything. We've added a few little consoles here and there to kind of represent things associated with stuff here. Like putting these consoles here for each one of the generators. We got a console back here for the warp drive. Um, the warp drive is just kind of sitting out. Not a whole lot else I can do, and I'm pretty sure based on what I've seen of this thing that it is actually meant to be standing upright. But yeah, that it is what it is. And again, we didn't really move anything around. Then over here, as you can see, we just colorize everything. We got all of the container extenders uh, painted the same color as the walls. Yeah, it's the best I can come up with. And then we've got the ammo crates right there with all the guns currently. I'm still not happy about the guns. I really want some big guns. I really want some enormous weapons. That is one of the things that I was very disappointed in is just how big the weapons are. Uh, the what they are big. Don't get me wrong. These things are not that small. The problem I have with them is compared to the size of a capital ship, this thing is absolutely tiny. Like, if we come out here, let's go all the way back out and kind of show this a little bit because we have 9 of these things on the front of the ship. Correct that. We have 18 of the things on the ship. Whoa. A little bit disoriented. Uh, let's just make our way out here. So, yeah, we have 18 of these things. And in comparison to the actual ship, and this isn't even max size for a capital ship. These things are absolutely tiny. So I mean, like even the engines, like we ended up for the actual size of this thing, we ended up having to use the large engines just to try and get the size correctly. And there's only supposed to be 2, so we had to use these. Um, And again, this isn't even the max size for a capital ship. These things, like, I was really expecting stuff to be much, much bigger. Um, Even the weapons, like, and this isn't even a weapon. This is a drill. I mean, we could use that to represent a different weapon, but uh, it isn't a weapon, so it's like I don't see the point. Um, but yeah, this it's just these just aren't that big. Like maybe for a medium-sized cruiser, it'd be fine. Like even with what we have here, and I'm not even sure I would call it a medium. The size thing says that it's like a 20 size, but even then, like I really, really wish they would add some weapons that are absolutely enormous. Like what I really, really want is something that actually fills up this entire space and sticks out like a sore thumb. Um, I don't know, maybe make it have a lot of CPU cost or something. But yeah, these, I mean, they are sunk in quite a way. We could push them out quite a bit. Uh, that was something that it just kind of ended up sticking them there, way in the back. But even if I move these things out, they're still just going to be absolutely tiny on the front end of this. And the front end weapons should actually stick out probably about this far. And again, because of the weapon choices in this, we really only have two weapons we can use. And so this one here, this is the rocket launcher. Um, I don't see how that's a rocket launcher, but whatever. This looks more like a howitzer than a rocket launcher. But yeah, this is a rocket launcher. Then over here is the laser that we've been using. The laser actually looks a lot better in my opinion, so that's what we've been using for all of our weapons. Um, Again, this is not for like being able to play Empyrion. This is just my recreation of a ship that I've already built. Um, and it still needs a little bit of work, a little bit of love, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I am debating on really, really redoing the entire cockpit because it still looks like a giant glass bubble. Like one little poke, and this entire thing is just flat out gone. Here, let's undo that. So yeah, that is what I've got going on so far with my diligent build, and I am enjoying it quite a bit, but I am getting kind of frustrated at some of the block shapes that I wish I had. And just overall like lack of certain things. Like decorations, I feel like there could be a lot more decorations based on a lot of different things. Like I don't know, maybe some decorations based on aliens, maybe a few more decorations based on Star Wars. Like maybe we have a little decoration that looks like a droid of some kind. You know, just it's little things like that in order to help fill up the space in really big ships like this. I do know that we do have NPCs. Yeah, we do have crew members. Um, I don't know what kind of style of crew members these come in. Like people talking, people sitting at various stations, and commanding officers, security guard, dancing humans. Well, that explains the video that I saw. I thought that was like a mod that allows a person to dance, but apparently it's just like a crew member. Um, but yeah, I'm not too fond of these. I actually haven't even used them. I just the whole reason is because this is a ship that I am meant to be flying on my own. I wish I had a few other options for decorations. We do have. Let's just go here and look at the decorations. So we got all these posters and everything, but with the corridor walls, this presents an interesting problem because these go flat on a wall. You can't really put them on a corridor wall, so that kind of sucks. Artificial plants. Yeah, I didn't really see a need to put plants in there, so I didn't use any of them. The antennas are probably going to be on the outside. These things are absolutely huge. Radar. I actually don't know what. Okay, so it's a 3x3. We could stick this somewhere on the hull somewhere. I'm not really sure where just yet. I'll get to that eventually. Um, Bed decorations. Let's just save one of those for later. Oh, I got a whole stack of beds right there. Oh, I got a couple of different decoration items. So yeah, we got this plain bed here, a second style of bed, then a bunk bed and a second bunk bed, a sofa, a bench, a dining table. This is more like a picnic table. I don't know why they call it a dining table. You got a like a booth kind of set up with this one. This is what we use downstairs in certain spots. Then we got a table with 4 chairs, reception. This is a like a coffee table here. You got a control station. This is nothing more than a desk with a computer sitting at it. That's all it is. A TV stand, a chair that, again, like this frustrates me because of the way it sits compared to actually, let's go back inside, go up to the cockpit because you can see what I'm talking about there. The chair at least is facing the right way and is far enough up that it makes sense. The most of the workstations, on the other hand, are on the opposite side of the block, so the chair really doesn't feel like it's that close to the actual station. Yeah. So we got the chair there. There's the station. The station's on the back end of this block. I feel like they should take this and move it to the front of the block so that this chair actually, if I'm sitting in it, it doesn't feel like I'm a million miles away from that console. Because right now it feels like I am very, very far away from it if I sit down in that. Oh, I turned the ship off. That's why. Um, just made me realize we do have that teleport pad. We could possibly put that down there somewhere. But yeah, I really want them to flip some of these blocks. Not flip them, but like take the model of them and push them forward on the block because this just feels too far away from the chairs. The chairs are in the right spot, but these models are not. And a lot of them are like that. Like you can't get the chair up close enough to where you would potentially sitting. And apparently, I didn't put any chairs here. Let's see, like that just Would you really sit that far away from your station? Or better yet, add a flipping chair to this. Like, you've already got a ridiculous little model here. Add a chair to it. Like, it just I don't know what the devs were thinking on some of this stuff. And then here, like, I can't put the chair center on that. Like, the chair would probably be sitting right about here. So definitely add a chair to that one. So I can put a chair there, and like, why would I be facing like this? I should be in the center of that. This, like, devs, come on. Like, this is ridiculous. It's fun, it's great, and the building is very easy to understand. But some of this stuff, like, look at this. How far away from that console am I? That is ridiculous. Like, I can see the entire console. I can see the floor in front of me. Like either scoot these things back so they match up with the chairs, or add a flipping chair to this. Like, I should be able to sit like, it's a little bit too far crouching, but I should be able to sit at this like that and have that kind of view, not this. Like, that's way too far back. And give us a few more different chairs, because I really don't see an office chair working at a flight station on a spaceship. Um, that is one thing that I was kind of bummed about, is there's literally only this one chair. There are no other chairs. It's just that. Yeah, I definitely would like some more chairs. But yeah, that's the ship, and before I continue ranting on about that, I think I'm going to be done there. So guys, you know what to do. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you absolutely loved it, think about subscribing. I really would appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. And hopefully we'll have the outer hull completely done by that point. We still need to add a few things. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't added the constructors yet. But yeah, I'll see you guys.